Just got finished listening to an hour plus long interview with AJ and Coogan from IFLTV, and I see some issues with what I'm hearing from AJ, and I'm gonna get into that. Don't forget hit the thumbs up, sub notification bell. Now let's get into the video. So, to me, listening to AJ talk, it sounds like he doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know what he is. He's searching for something and trying to appease people in a subliminal way. And the reason why I say that is Coogan asked him something along the lines of why didn't he fight differently versus trying to outbox the boxer. And then AJ put his hands up, did a couple little wild swings, talking about, oh, y'all wanted me to go like this. Well, then y'all was calling me the bodybuilder. Y'all said I didn't have skills. So I want to learn how to box with skills, be more agile and all of this. And my thing is this. Why are you listening to people? Are these people in the ring fighting? Have these people trained people to fight? Do they have world champions underneath them? Have they ever had any type of pedigree when it comes to combat? If the answer is no, then why put any validity into what random people are saying? I understand that you could consider me a random person, but I'm just speaking in general. Here's the deal. You don't change up what you do good because people talk about you being a certain way. Who cares if people say, oh, he's a bodybuilder? Who cares if they say, oh, he's slow? Who cares if they say, oh, he can't move his head? Because at the end of the day, your results were what? Knocking people out. That's it. Deontay Wilder didn't care that people called him a one-trick pony before he ran into Tyson Fury. Why? Because that one trick worked out well for him. He was knocking everybody out. You obviously have a lot more technical ability than Deontay Wilder. By far. But you were getting the knockouts too. The thing about it is, I saw it when other people did not. I've been on several panels arguing with people, arguing, being told how wrong I was. And every time I come out unscathed. Right. AJ, because you have chosen to do what people want you to do or change who you are, I saw a reduction in power. I saw it in the rematch against Ruiz. I saw it against Povetkin. I don't care if not Povetkin, Pulev. I don't care if he got the knockout. I'm looking at all the shots he had to land to get the knockout, knowing that the old AJ, the bodybuilding AJ, the AJ that people used to like to talk about because of his physique, oh, he should be a model, that AJ. I knew that if he landed them same shots, the fight would have been over a long time ago, within a few rounds. But I also watched Pulev walk through him, so I knew it. So I knew going into this Usyk fight that he stood very little chance to win, especially if he was going to come in smaller again, which he did. Then when I saw Usyk gain more weight than he's ever weighed, I knew the writing was on the wall because he's got a granite chin. Now, here's the deal. AJ, stop listening to people. It's irrelevant what they say. The only people that you need to listen to is the people that you trust to get you where you want to be. That's it. That's all you have to do. What other people say does not matter. It does not matter. And if I could talk to you eye to eye, face to face, I would tell you this. You are a tank. You are the bully. You are the big dog on the block. You are the brick shit powerhouse. And to take that away from you doesn't leave you with much. You're not Muhammad Ali. You're never going to be Muhammad Ali. But what you do is you improve on what you're not good at, and you make what you're good at great. And in my opinion, with the route that they took you, you lost way more than what you gained. So therefore, you're now in the negative. The scale was not balanced to your favor. I don't know if you have enough time to get strong again, to put the weight back on again, to be able to carry it in a fight that will go 12 rounds if you don't get a knockout. I don't know if you had that type of time, but what I do know is you need to believe in you. You need to stop listening to what people say. You know who you are. You know what you are. You need to soul search. Now, there's other things where he led into against the loss with Andrew Ruiz. He came out with excuses. Excuses kind of muddied the water. Used the trilogy fight with Fury and Wilder to show how excuses can muddy the water. So I don't like that mentality. you shouldn't have that mentality of maybe you should have said excuses because of this or that. No, I like the fact that you took it on the chin. You admitted he was the better man. You moved on. You came back. You won. Now, a lot of people criticized you on the way that you won, about how you boxed on the outside. I didn't criticize you for the win because I'll never criticize anybody for the win. A win is a win at the end of the day. But again, I knew after that fight, and I was confirmed it after seeing Pula, that you lost way too much power, and that's what you are. My opinion is, AJ, you're a good boxer. You're a good fighter. Your biggest chink in your armor is you shell up. I've mentioned it multiple times in the past throughout multiple videos. You shell up extremely bad. What you need to work on in the gym, and it will benefit you tremendously, is letting guys land combos on you while you're blocking it. You're looking through your guard to counterpunch. Now, they don't have to go to take your head off. You're working, you're sparring, you're trying to get better. But you need to put yourself in bad situations to where you're forced to counterpunch. So that way you can get better at reacting and thinking when you're being barraged. That's what you need to do, because in that 12th round, when Usyk started letting loose on you, you almost got knocked down. You may have got knocked out. And when you went to your corner, you couldn't get up. It's because you didn't fight back when the pressure was put on you. Now, the second thing was, you're supposed to be, supposedly, the bigger, stronger man. But you really didn't. You weren't. Because you've taken too much off. I don't know. Again, I don't understand. And I'm kind of like just talking now. This probably would have been a better live, but I just don't get it. You know what you remind me of? You remind me of the NFL football player, quarterback Michael Vick. Everybody hated on him for him running. He was great when he first came into the league because he ran. But then it looked like after a couple of seasons that he hesitated to run. And then he couldn't run no more because he was getting hit, because where at times you would see that he would take off. Well, now he's hesitating. Now he wants to throw from the pocket. Why? Because people used to say, you're only good at running. You're not a quarterback. You can't throw the ball. So it looked like he made a point to try to throw the ball. And what it ended up doing was killing his game. You have to know who you are. This going to other gyms can be good. You want to gain knowledge, that's great. But in my opinion, going to gyms like Reynoso, which I've already made a video about, may benefit you against Usyk. But see, unless you plan on retiring, which it doesn't sound like you do, your career doesn't end with Usyk. You even said it yourself that Usyk was around those guys so they could give you pointers. But here's the problem. You're not thinking about the flip side of the coin. He's got two fighters, one that beat you and another one that's upcoming looking really good. Andrew Ruiz, Frank Sanchez, both are contenders for you. So while you may go there and be able to pick up some things, and he may be able to help you beat Usyk, and you might beat Usyk because of it, think about the long term. Now you got two fighters who you went to their coach. He's going to be more loyal to them than he is to you because they're going to be with him forever. You just there for 6 months, here and there. Come and go with the win. Whether they keep you or lose you, you're not an asset, because what's more of an asset is to get one of his fighters to beat you. And all you're doing is you're exposing to a trainer a game plan to beat you down the road. Period. That's all you're doing. You're opening yourself up to a loss. So to go into hostile territory to get taught to beat a guy is desperation, in my opinion. And you're too good to be desperate. So I do agree with the fact that you're looking elsewhere, because McCracken's not giving you what you need. And the thing about loyalty is that he's brought up, I've said this several times, loyalty goes both ways. You can be loyal to people around you. But if we're talking in the sense of fighter, trainer, / coach, when that guy takes you as far as he can take you, then he needs to be loyal enough to tell you, I can't do no more for you. You need to go elsewhere. That's what I mean by loyalty works both ways. So again, I have no issues with him finding a new coach. I think he needs to find a new coach. I think McCracken's taking him as far as he can. And I think the game plan that he came up with was a bad one for Usyk. Now, touching on bad game plans, here's the problem that I don't like. Again, AJ, you said that you are a product of your team. I don't like that mentality, because it feels like You're taking the blame off of yourself and putting it on your team because they implemented a bad game plan and that is why you lost. I'm sorry, that is not the case. That is not what it is. Yes, a team can put in a bad game plan. Yes, you could go into training, into that whole camp with a bad game plan that may not work. However, this is what separates the all-time greats from just the good fighters, great fighters. We'll say separates all-time greats from just great. You find a way to win. You can't stick to what they taught you. You have to be able to think on your own. And this comes back full circle to where it began. You have to start believing in yourself. You need to look inside of yourself and know who you are. You were the world champion, unified, 4 belts, 3 major, 1 minor. That was you. Olympic gold medalist. That's you. Start believing in what you are. A lot of people believe you are the best heavyweight out there. You need to start believing it. And believing it means you're not looking for all these answers and coming up with all these excuses. People all the time could say, I'm a byproduct of my environment. But I don't like that. Because if you're a byproduct of your environment, then you never go ahead. You never move forward. You stay wherever you're at. For instance, if you're from a bad area, you're a byproduct of that bad area. So you always going to be in that bad area doing what bad area people do. No, the goal is to get out, to overcome that. So you're not a product of your environment and you're not a product of what your coaching team does. You're a product of how you perform in that ring. That's it. It's you. And you have to have enough faith in you to know that if their game plan isn't working, you change it. You deviate. You think in the middle of the ring of what you need to do to get ahead when the plan is not working. And that comes with self-belief. And that's the problem. I'm really hearing that I don't feel like your head is where it needs to be. And where it needs to be is believing you are what you are because you are. You're a great fighter. You are, without a doubt, a great fighter. But you got to start thinking that way. And you got to start believing it when you think that way. And again, my suggestion is don't go to hostile gyms. Don't go to gyms to where they got fighters that are nipping at your heels and they're going to fight you, because all that's going to do is turn out bad for you and possibly make you lose. You said that you would love Fury to come into your camp and teach you some things for Usyk. That's great. But Fury is very calculated. He's very tactical in what he does, strategic. And he will implement those sessions he has with you to beat you in a real fight. You may say sparring is not a fight, and I agree. Sparring doesn't translate into what's going to happen on fight night, but what it does do is let you know how to take and exploit weaknesses, and Fury's going to take all of that while he's helping you, and he may help you, just like Reynoso beat Usyk. It's going to hurt you worse because when he gets in that ring with you, he knows exactly what he needs to do to get those advantages that he's already learned. That's why it's not smart. It's just not smart. But this is my 2 cents. I believe AJ can beat Usyk. I don't believe he's going to do it by outboxing a boxer. I believe that he is going to have to get more physical. But at the same time, I don't like him saying that throw him to the ground. I don't like that. You don't need to cheat to win. Yes, it's a fight, but you don't have to blatantly break the rules. That shouldn't be in your mind that that's what you got to do to win. Because if you feel like you got to cheat to win, then you don't really believe in yourself. It all comes back to that self-confidence. That's what you need. You need that. You need to know who you are. You've listened to too many people and you've lost track of what you are. And when you believe what you are again, you will be what you are, because that's what you are. So AJ, get your head together. Again, I don't recommend you going to hostile territories to learn, because it's the end game that you got to think about. I understand that the short term's right there, the rematch right there. You need a win, or you feel like your career is going to take a very big hit. But at the same time, if you lose a fight or two from now, it's no different. It's really not. Except now you got another loss to another person. I just always think about the end game personally. But I think you should go back to what you were, a tank. I was going to end the video right there, but now it's going to get a little cringe. AJ, if this makes its way to you, You talk about people want money, people want the fame from training you, right? Message me. I'll message you back. You ain't got to pay me. You don't have to pay me nothing. You don't even have to say I talked to you. I feel like you could be one of the best heavyweights of all time, but you got to get your mind right. So I have a few suggestions that could help you. If you want help for free, that you don't even have to mention name, then hit me up. Now, who am I? Just some random dude on the internet. What do I know? I don't know nothing at all. Oh, wait. But my predictions go very, very scary, almost horrifying how precise they are, including picking you to lose to Usyk. Some people, like you said about Virgil Hunter, just have an eye for it. I feel like I have an eye. But hey, this is just the cringy part. If you want some advice, hit me up if you ever hear this, but I doubt you will because my channel is small.